Hello and welcome. It's that crazy time of year where almost everything gets thrown up in the air and who knows where things will fall. But today I'm going to talk about some helpful ways to set some new goals for the year or reevaluate current ones. With the new year already upon us, and while it still feels full of new possibilities, there is still that feeling of another chance at a fresh start. So let's get this started and use some of that enthusiasm. But wait a minute, that's a lot of pressure to create and set new goals. Especially for self-taught artists who, if you're like me, don't have the same resources and support as some of those that have formal art training where the goals and objectives are already set out for you. We have to create our own. However, by setting the right type of goals that focus on both the technical and non-technical aspects of our art, we can continue to grow and improve as artists and make meaningful progress towards our dreams and aspirations, whatever they may be. I think setting goals can be crucial for self-taught artists as they help to improve skills, build a successful career if that's what you want, and achieve whatever your artistic dreams are. However, it's important to be mindful of common pitfalls, which one I fell into this past year in a big way. And they can lead to disappointment or burnout. And it's also important to set achievable goals that align with your long-term aspirations. Make them challenging and yet attainable, and to be flexible and adaptable as you work towards them. Also, prioritise your goals and focus only on a few key areas at a time. Also, by setting long-term and short-term goals and regularly reviewing and adjusting them as needed, you can stay motivated and on track a little bit easier. So with that, let's take a look at what type of long-term and short-term goals we self-learners can use. To start making short-term goals, write down the things that you want to achieve now, and they could be things like finishing a painting or drawing within a week, attend a local art workshop or class, participate in an art challenge or project, complete a daily drawing or painting exercise for the week, research and try out new artistic mediums or techniques, join an online community or forum for support and feedback, practice art for a set amount of time each day. So then the long-term goals could look like complete a series of paintings or drawings over the course of the year, establish a consistent art making practice and schedule, launch a website or an online shop to sell artwork, establish a career as a full-time artist or whatever that means to you, participate in a show or exhibition. That one's, I probably would not do that one, but you never know what's going to happen. Develop a personal artistic style or brand. But just as a note, try to avoid goals like gaining a certain amount of followers or subscribers because that's something that's out of your control. And while you can create the content, you can't force people to follow you. Therefore, it's better to focus on the goals that are within your control, such as creating a certain amount of content or just improving your skills in a specific area. That way you can still track your progress and feel a sense of accomplishment, even if you don't reach a certain number of followers or subscribers. So now we want to be smart about our goals so we can better achieve them and build up some goal-smashing confidence. So how do we do this? Well, most of the suggestions I've read so far say mostly the same thing. By using the above example of finish a painting or drawing within a week, the first thing we need to do is be more specific. Is it a portrait of a friend using oils or charcoal or a landscape drawing of some place in pencil? By changing the goal from vague into something more specific, we can better understand what it is that we are trying to achieve and make it more actionable, which is important. Now we need to set a time commitment or deadline, make it measurable so we can track our progress. Will it be within a week or a month, or will it be 3 drawings a month? We need to see the numbers to hold ourselves accountable and bring those ideas that are floating up in the air down from the clouds and onto our canvas. So for our example of finishing our portrait painting in oils within a week or by a certain date, we need a way to measure that. So a way to measure that might be that we spend half an hour each day or an hour each day on that project, on that painting. Also, make sure the goal is achievable. Do you have the skills currently, resources, and the time commitments? Make it challenging, but not too hard. For instance, if you are just starting out in oils, you might want to set a goal to complete a small rough portrait painting each day instead, where there's not so much pressure to get it perfect, but you're just practicing your skills and techniques. Now, is the goal relevant to our long-term aspirations? Does it fit into our overall plan? For example, if you're working towards becoming a professional portrait artist, you might set a goal to complete a series of portrait paintings that showcase your skills and style within this year. If we create a portrait painting rough each day and then a full portrait painting each week, then yes, that is working towards our long-term goal. Although that's a lot of work, so your volume of work should be relevant to your goals and how much you know that you can achieve. Don't make it too hard because then you'll just get overwhelmed and give up. The last metric for our goal setting is time. So set a clear deadline or a time frame for the goal to give yourself a sense of urgency and motivation. If you find that difficult, you can try setting intermediate deadlines or milestones to keep you on track. For example, if you're working towards completing a series of paintings within the year, you might set a goal to complete one painting per week or spend a certain amount of hours painting per day or working on your art. And this can help you stay motivated and ensure that you're making progress towards your ultimate goal. It's also important to be flexible with your time-bound goals. If you find that you need more time to complete it, or if you encounter unexpected obstacles, it may be necessary to adjust your deadline or time frame. And this is especially true for us self-taught artists who might be limited with resources and our training is self-regulated. By being flexible and open to change, you can stay focused and motivated and continue to make progress towards your goals even when things come up and seemingly destroy your focus. By being flexible and open to change, you can stay focused and motivated and continue to make progress towards your goals, even when faced with extra challenges. Now let's talk about the common pitfalls. Setting unrealistic goals, setting too many goals, not setting any goals, not reviewing or adjusting your goals, and losing sight of your values. I mean, certainly at the start of the year we can be excited and eager. I know I am right now. We are full of enthusiasm and nothing's too hard, and quite often we overestimate ourselves. And while it's important to be ambitious and challenge ourselves, it's also important to be realistic and make things achievable. Because with all the things that I thought I was going to be doing this year, without a concrete plan, I'm already thinking, whoa, that's just too much. I don't know if I can do it. So if it's too difficult or unrealistic, we might become discouraged and just lose motivation. Also, while it's important to set a variety of goals, if we set too many at once, it can be overwhelming and counterproductive. So just focus on a few that are most important to you and break them down into smaller, more manageable steps. Now, I'm guilty of not setting goals at all, and in my experience, it may seem easier to just wing it at first, but I did discover by the end of the year that not setting any goals led to a lack of direction and progress. I have no idea what I achieved this past year, so it's important to take time to think about what we want to achieve and set those goals to help us get there. I'm actually pretty disappointed because I've got nothing to look back and just say, yeah, I did this or I did that. That was my goal for the year and I did that. My only real goal for 2022 was just not to give up. And I guess I did achieve that, but I think I could have used a little bit more direction. It's also important to regularly review and adjust the goals to make sure we are on track and making progress. If we find that our goals are not meeting our expectations or are not realistic or achievable, just adjust them. They don't have to be set in concrete. Finally, make sure that they align with your values and priorities. If you set goals that are not in line with what's most important to you, you might find it difficult to stay motivated and committed. You'll make things harder for yourself and definitely be quick to drop it at the first sign of trouble. So at this point, it might be an idea to take some time and really think about the road ahead and just start getting the conversation going in your head to discover what goals you want to set for this year, both the short term and long term, and make sure they are aligned with each other. I'm still working out a few of mine, but I'm definitely setting some long-term and short-term goals this year so that at the end of 2023, hopefully I'll be able to look back and see my progress as I work towards each one of them. So now that we have a few goals set, we need to find ways to keep working on them when the shininess of the new year starts to fall and motivation really begins to wane. We are all unique and the answers will be different for everyone, but a few common strategies that you might be able to use is using a planner, calendar, or goal tracking app. Seeing your goals written down and having a visual representation of them can be a great source of motivation. Personally, I find that I need to change my methods every now and then though. I used to get upset at myself after a while of meticulously ticking things off my to-do list, and it just stopped working as a source of motivation. And I didn't know what was going on, but then I discovered that all I had to do was just change up the method. So now I'm using a calendar. So just keep in mind that if it stops working after a couple of months or weeks or so, you can change the way that you do it. You don't have to stick with the same method throughout the whole year. If using a planner today works and it doesn't work tomorrow, then go to a goal tracking app or a different type of calendar. Then find an accountability partner and share your goals. I've got to say this rarely works for me as I'm not as social as a normal person might be. So I personally use my social media followers as a source of accountability. So that's you guys. I feel bad if I've not posted something in over a week. And even though I have no idea if it matters to you as much as it does to me, you are as close to an accountability partner as I can get. But you may have more options and I really hope you do. And next, we need to celebrate successes. This is a huge thing. These are important milestones, and we should take a moment to appreciate and honor the effort and the fact that we just showed up. We got it done. We got something done. Yay, progress. Excellent. And next, keep it achievable. If goals are too large or hard, it's just easy to get discouraged and stuck. And if this happens, I think it's a good time to reevaluate your goals and perhaps break it down into smaller incremental steps. And by focusing on the smaller parts, you can build up your skills and confidence and then make progress slowly towards your larger goal. And remember to be patient and don't get discouraged if you don't achieve your goals as quickly as you'd like. Setting and achieving goals takes time and practice, just like any other skill. So if you're not good at it yet, just keep working and practicing at it and you will find a method that works for you. So find ways to stay inspired. And this is huge. Staying inspired is an important part of getting the motivation and achieving your goals. My tips would be to surround yourself with your favorite art, or consider keeping a folder or board of inspiration, or setting aside time each day to seek out new sources of inspiration and new experiences and opportunities to grow. Things like a local museum or gallery, or a walk in nature. It could be something like attend an art event or workshop, or join an online community. My personal favourites are taking my dog for a walk and playing with her in the yard for a few moments. She loves it. And it gives me a time out, a brain break. That's probably my go-to way to stay inspired this year. Browsing through my Instagram followers' artworks and giving them encouragement. So that's you guys. I love going through your work and seeing what you've done and seeing the progress that you might not be able to see it, but I can see progress that you've made over time. So 2 thumbs up. Keep going. Excellent work, guys, girls, whoever. Writing myself positive messages also, or creating a statement for that day, I can find that helps me align myself to my statement if I'm feeling myself wavering. If that makes sense. It might be something like specific for the day if I can feel, if I'm not feeling it. Something like, today I'm going to find ways to keep myself going. Or I might write down my coping strategies for the day. So for instance, I've written down clean something, organise or rearrange something, try learning and solving basic math problems. I never got around to that one. I don't know why I wrote that down. Juggling. I've recently got some juggling balls, so it's a good little distraction when things are just getting too intense. Yeah, so just things like that. What else have I written? Oh, here's one. I will remember that I am fortunate to enjoy every moment in my day, and my day continues to give me enrichment in the biggest and smallest ways. I am here to experience them and learn from them. Or another one I wrote was, I am open to new ideas, concepts and processes to enrich my day and find positive moments even while doing the most mundane things. So these little statements can help me keep me aligned throughout the day, and sometimes I'll go back and read them. But yeah, writing down coping strategies for the day is, I think, a great idea to help you stay on track. And even when you write words to yourself like that, it can give you inspiration. So I think that's a great way. So with all that, as we start the new year, take some time to think about your goals as a self-taught artist and whether you want to improve your technical skills, build a successful career, or simply just create more art. Setting those goals can help you make meaningful progress towards your creative dreams. And there's room for everybody. Don't think that because someone else is better than you that there's no room for you there, because we are all unique. A piece of art from one person isn't the same as a piece of art from another person. We all give our own unique experiences to the art that we create, so there's room for everybody. So with all that said, I hope you can find something in there that will help you set some goals and keep yourself on track for this year. As you start the new year, take some time to think about them as a self-taught artist. Whether you want to improve your technical skills, build a successful career, or simply just create more art, setting those goals can help you make meaningful progress towards them and your creative dreams. So happy new year and happy goal setting. Keep drawing, keep learning, and keep making progress. I'll see you next time. Bye.
Yes, good girl.